Somebody's. Oh.
Very good, Jess. Way to cut me off. Welcome everyone to the Survivor Bus podcast, episode 5. We will be discussing that
High
I'm
five, Dave.
now, and I've written down disgusting.
Okay.
Oh no, it's that.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Boom.
Survivor Bus podcast, season 23, also episode 5. Taste the victory. I have some things written down that I was gonna mention where we're gonna talk about the most disgusting challenge ever. What happens when you call Coach Ben and Survivor finds something that can potentially help them later on in the game. So, first off, how's everybody doing today? We still got
Awesome.
here.
Not everybody all at once.
I'm a little sleepy today, but I'm good.
Yeah, it's like a little gray, but it's not bad. It's not cold. So sorry, it's cold where you are.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Oh, might be back there. It's not bad here.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. Back east, living that life.
It's not.
Living the dream.
The worst is right outside. Geez, I wouldn't want to move my laptop to show you, but we have some pretty big icicles hanging around outside, right off the gutter, and we are worried they're just going to fall randomly. So we always try and watch where we stand whenever we're outside. Some of them look like a good 1.5 2 feet long.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
You don't ever just take a stick and whack them for fun?
They're really high.
Oh, you like a
From this window, if we took the screen out,
six
because
not long enough then.
but
Sorry. Get a longer stick, like like when they got one of those like painter's poles. You know, you like and you extend it, then lock it.
yeah, we don't have anything really outside that's really going to be dangerous. We just got to make sure the dogs aren't outside and standing underneath them. But there's only one or two.
Sure.
People beside us actually have a ton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, we felt like knocking on their door and asking them, just being like, "Hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but
I would like shoot them with a BB gun.
I was going to say, Liam used to like throw snowballs at them to knock them down, got a slingshot. Makes a game out of it.
yeah." So, anyone's minor opinions on the show before we get started?
I have a major opinion.
Who do you
So
guys
gross.
Who's your top 3 for winning right now, you guys?
Oh, me first. Jim,
Okay.
Coach,
Okay.
and top three. Who would I pick? Albert, maybe.
Yeah. I'd say Albert, Sophie, and Cochran. I love Cochran so much.
Mm,
Yeah.
I like Jim, though, too. Jim's pretty schemy.
he's smart.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah.
Albert would be on my list, and I probably like. Oh, let's see. I kind of like Keith. He seems to be laying low. He's not really making any enemies. Jim is playing the game really hard, and I like watching it. Those might be my 3 picks right now. Cochran just has no confidence. Everything he's doing right now is just transparent to everybody else, and
Well, yeah, I guess this episode. Yeah.
He's
Next
in a tough spot being with Ozzy.
Yeah.
Ozzy can be a little bit of a bully,
Yeah.
quite intimidating. I noticed the bully thing really come out in him this episode.
Yeah.
Mm.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, let's get right into it. Does anybody want to kick us off?
Sure. Would they start off going to Redemption, showing, I guess it's Stacy walking in to say hello to Christine.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Christine is disappointed. That's her bud.
Yeah.
But the best thing about this scene, I mean, is Stacy's line. Mom, you were mentioning it earlier?
They're all going to hell. with gasoline drawers on.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one is pretty good. She's. Oh, this
I
is.
wish I could do her accent.
Yeah. Best if we don't.
This is okay. So what did you guys think of the challenge itself?
Yeah, I liked. Well, actually, what happens? Is that where we go to next? Is immediately?
No, we go to Brandon on Opolu, waking everybody up with
No,
a sad tree mail.
I thought just at the end of the Redemption Island challenge, right when Jeff's like, so,
We haven't gotten there yet.
oh, okay, that's my fault in the notes.
But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Brandon with tree mail going, I don't mean to wake you up, but we have some tree mail. Sorry about waking you up.
I have a note early on about him. I just
And then they decide who's going to go watch the duel, right? Because they know none of them want Christine back. Yep.
right.
Dave, go ahead.
I think I know what happened, Drew. I think you literally just mentally block out all Brandon scenes.
That could be.
Dude, I do a little bit. Okay.
He erases it automatically. Don't need this.
The first thing I have is I've got 4 minutes, and my note just says, and I'm gonna cry for attention now.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, my note is widow baby Brandon got his feelings hurt.
Yeah, that works.
That works. See, I didn't even write anything down about Brandon. That's what I thought of it.
Yeah, just oh god.
Yeah, mine's literally just say that Brandon wakes up everyone up for tree mail. I don't even pick the low hanging fruit of him just crying to camera yet again.
It's not even low hanging fruit. It's not entertaining. I don't know.
No.
Fair enough.
Well, some people certainly find it entertaining because they put it in every episode.
They do. They do.
It's insane.
Yeah, then we go to the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So Albert and Michaela go from Apollo, and Dawn and who go from
Whitney.
Dawn and Whitney. Yeah, and Stacy. I love the way she went off at the beginning. You know, oh, you people, you watch out for the blue tribe because Benjamin's running everything.
Yeah.
Right? And they're all, and Jeff is like, Benjamin? You're not going to, give him the honor of calling him coach? No, that's not the name his mother gave him. No, his name is Benjamin. She was just.
Isn't it a little bit framing? Why is it an honor? Like, it's just like it's a nickname.
Well, it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Coach wants to be called coach.
Well, sure, but you can call him Tiny or Fast.
And then Jeff's like, so is that your way of getting back at him? And she's like, well, yeah. And then she does her boop.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Dave, do you have the screenshot of the look?
Well, I got it.
Yeah.
There you go. There it is.
Or the other one is.
But I love this about her that she is just like she's so honest. She's like really, because I don't want it to be like I don't know like comicalized. It's not meant to be like comedy by the look on her face, but it's just how she wears. Because I feel like that would be me. I would wear that stuff on my face if I was like, oh my god, no, just look chill, bro. Go for a walk. We'll like walk it off.
So do you think her outburst is like warranted, or is she just being butthurt about?
I think it's a bit of both. I think this one's a bit of both. I think you know what? Honestly, this season I noticed everyone that got voted off was a little bit vocal about how butthurt they were, and it's kind of like someone's gonna be voted off. It's gonna be somebody, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, everybody lied to me. Can't trust anybody. Humanity's doomed." It's a game, man. It's like bingo, right? It's like it's a reverse. Every round, somebody's gonna lose. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
So the duel itself?
My favorite.
I feel like every challenge I always have an opinion of what if I like the challenge or not. I'm gonna actually start rating them now. I'm gonna go out of
Ooh,
10.
okay.
Did you say 10?
Are
This
there
one's
different?
a 9. This one's a 9.
Are there different categories, or it's just like yeah? Okay.
The only way this challenge could have been better, in my opinion, is if it was right after the merge and everyone was fighting for that first immunity and there was like 10 people there all doing it.
I am
That-
disappointed. It
The
got
one-
used on Redemption
Yeah.
for just
Yeah.
2 people. I love it when there's all of them going and like they're all focusing on it and distracted by each other, and Jeff is like calling out everyone. I love it.
Interesting. Okay.
Another challenge that I would say is 10 out of 10 that can be used in either of those scenarios that I don't think having one-on-one or 10 people going for it hinders it is the Dominoes challenge.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good one. I like that one.
Or grading one. That one works better. One-on-one, three-way, 10 people. It's great every time.
I would rock the domino challenge for sure.
Yeah,
You're
because it's
talking
like,
about the one, Dave. You're talking about the one where if they hit the tripwires, everything falls down too. Yeah. Okay. All right.
anyway, so yeah, I love this challenge. Very, very tense.
Doesn't last very long though.
Well,
Well,
Stacey took it super seriously. As soon as Jeff was like, "Everyone, you have 10 seconds to add another ball," Stacey's like, "Just done."
Right away. Just right away. And even Albert's like, she doesn't even wait. She has 10 seconds.
I noticed there was a lot of side chatter, like
Yeah.
about it. And so, and it's interesting because but there's a little bit of a theme, like she's winning and they don't want her back in the game because they know she's gonna be a handful for them.
But both of them.
yeah.
Dude,
That's the thing.
Coach doesn't want her either,
Yeah.
right? And they're, he's an ally coach, right? Like, so it's just interesting, and I think it's like they're scared.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I would be too. Could you imagine? Like, they're not that far from the merge now. Like, how many more challenges does she have to win after this to be back? 2?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, but
I
let's
don't
guess.
either.
Let's pretend we're on the island and like, how close do we think we are to the merge? Like, you guys are Survivor fans.
I think she only has one more. I think one more.
One
Yeah.
more.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. So, right? So she wins this, the next, right? So, yeah, man. I mean, she's a real threat and would be a big, turn of the tables.
Well, it definitely doesn't seem like, and we'll get to who gets sent home at the end of this episode. But everyone prior to this, and I would say Stacey on or before, there's not like they're sending her huge like battle heavy superstars for her to defeat.
It's true. Yeah.
She's
The one thing I liked is after the challenge was over, you know how Jeff always goes, so what are you going to take away from this experience? Blah, blah, blah. Talks to the person that's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And Stacey was like, I'm a diva. Who lives like this? And I'm thinking, you're a diva? All right. Okay. All right.
May I? The one I liked is the I'm a funeral director.
Yeah.
I'm a politician. And I love the confidence and that she's like, I have a craft, like I have my trade. Do you know what I mean? But it wasn't the first thing that popped my head to be like, be like, no, I'm a mountain climber, or I'm a a survivalist or something, right? But like, how is being noble profession, but why I don't know. It made me smile.
Yeah. I liked in the challenge when Dawn and Whitney come in together and Dawn notices that it's Stacey that got voted off. And Dawn says she's surprised. She's like, I'm surprised. Are you? And Whitney goes, no. And I realized Dawn was surprised because they're knocking out all these like older women. And Dawn is an older woman on her tribe. So she's like, why are they all here? I'm surprised. And Whitney's like, nah, I'm not. Like, figure it out, Dawn.
Yeah, I don't think
kind of like how Keith and Jim kind of realized the comment from like Aussie.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know if Dawn had that realization, but she should have in that moment.
She should have.
Yeah, I did. So after the challenge, obviously Stacy loses, and then they go back to Apolu, and this is when Albert and
Are we going to talk about that? How that was like the most disgusting challenge that ever was? Or
we're not
not
at that
yet.
challenge yet.
Oh.
I'm talking about the Redemption Island challenge we just did.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. But so Albert and Sophie go back together, is it? No.
Not Sophie.
No,
Right.
Michaela.
They go back and explain what happened and how they're calling Coach Benjamin, and he gets so upset. If anybody calls me Benjamin to my face, we'll lose it.
Yeah, I know, right?
His mother's call him Benjamin since he was 9 or 11?
18.
18. Oh, I thought it was so younger than that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I've been coaching since I was 18 years old. Like,
but you know, now Albert's all concerned because he's like, oh God, when we get to the merge, they're all going to be after me because they think I'm running stuff over here. At least
yeah, they called him out. Yeah,
he picked up on that. Coach was like more all about, why are you calling me Benjamin? My name is Coach.
Yeah. Oh, and Brandon being like, who's Benjamin?
Yeah.
Who are we talking about here? And they're like, that's Coach. Catch up.
Yeah, I love that. Who's Benjamin? And everyone's like, oh my God. Yeah.
It just, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and then it's Savai next, and then it's Dawn and Courtney break the news at the Savai camp.
Whitney.
Yeah.
Whitney, sorry.
Dawn and Whitney.
Yeah.
Whatever. Tomato.
Right before they get back to camp, it's Ozzy and Elise lying around and Cochran working really hard.
Yeah.
And that's when Ozzy gets into it. Oh, how do you spell that?
Oh yeah.
Right? And
spelling it.
But don't they kind of preface it with like Ozzy saying beforehand, like, well, you know, we saw really, you know, Cochran kind of turn on the Jets today, like, and it's weird because they don't really show you whether like one opinion is true or the other is true. You're sort of left a little to make up your own decision.
Well, you do see Cochran working. True. You do see him doing this, and you do see Ozzy lying around doing nothing.
Yeah.
True.
Very true.
You know, and then Dawn and Whitney show up.
Mm-hmm.
Take it away, somebody.
Well, then they spill the beans about Albert and Coach running the show, and then Ozzy just off the top of his head goes like, "Oh, Coach should definitely deal with Albert."
Yeah, if he's smart, he'll vote him out soon.
Yeah,
and Jim very quickly goes, "Why would he do that? Why?"
Yeah. And so when we were talking earlier about who our lead favorite is, Jim is also my lead favorite as well. I think he really has tabs on like what people are doing and their motives, and I think he has a really good chance to, you know, kind of
go far. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's one of those players that's always playing. He's like always in his head, being aware of what everyone's doing and picking up on everything they're saying.
But he's also like aware of like flying under the radar a little bit too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just like his whole, all the talking heads, I just kind of been like, yeah, bro, yeah. Okay. And like he's likable. You know what I mean? Like he's, you know, but he's likable. So yeah.
Well, none of his talking heads are annoying.
Right. Yeah. I mean, usually they're insightful, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's getting it.
Yeah.
Because they never show him just having a conversation with someone about something personal. It's always just him in the background looking, and then it cuts to a talking head where he's overthinking things.
Well, because isn't he lying about his job?
That's right. Oh, I forgot about that. Good point.
So he probably avoids that talk.
He was a forensics teacher, a science.
Right.
A forensic science teacher, right?
Yeah.
Developed course at a high school.
And what do they think he is?
That's what they think he is.
And what is he?
A poker player.
Right.
And he owns some medicinal marijuana shops.
And he owns a couple weed dispensaries.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a businessman and a professional poker player.
Yeah, that's a threat.
So like moderately wealthy, right? Owns a business, plays pro poker.
And sharp. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, to play poker, you got to be able to read people.
same with running a business, man. Like, he's got all the boxes are checked there for him to do well. So
yeah.
I see why he's lying.
So
to see if it says a different job title under him whenever he gets a talking head, but never mind.
So what best, you guys? After Jim, what's our common number 2? If Jim's not going to do it, who will?
I mean, I want Cochran to do it.
Yeah.
I like Jess's Sophie choice too.
She's really involved in everything, but she's laying so low. Like, no one's ever bringing her up.
Flying under the radar for now.
But she's in like a top 3 alliance. Like, she's up there with Coach and Albert, and her name never got thrown around.
No.
And Albert and Coach aren't clicking into this. Like, they're just concerned
Jim's not even really.
Well, they're not on the same.
Oh, right.
Right? Yeah.
I feel like Keith has a good chance.
Yeah.
He's fit. He's not offending anybody. I think visibly he's a bigger threat than Jim. So, like, he could draw some heat. But I feel like he could kind of do like a Joe or a Malcolm where he'd just be like a steady Eddie.
The good guy alpha.
He's quieter than Ozzy. He is a little bit more under the radar, and I'm sure could probably perform as well. So I kind of feel like for the top names, I had Jim, Keith. I had Christine as my third pick because she just she hasn't been knocked out yet.
That's right. I like Christine,
and I feel like that determination is like building, and I just thought kind of like, and then I said Coach, and I don't know if I still feel this way, but at the time I wrote down Edna because I feel like I'd sort of seen a couple talking heads of her in the episode, and she's just always thinking about, I don't have this advantage, I need to make friends with this person. And she's always kind of, and I'm like, I could see you lilling your way around, I guess. I don't know. Can I say that? Maybe that's not.
Lilling your way. Yeah, I was going to say she's making a point of being a coattail rider, I feel. She's like, that's her strategy.
But
yeah, maybe, right?
Yeah.
But that's having a strategy, though. I mean, is that?
Yeah, no. It's good.
Is that valid? Does that make her still a goat?
Yeah, I think.
I think it does with everybody else, but I think it's a valid strategy.
Yeah, she's doing it very intentionally, and she's like aware of it. She's saying it to the camera in her talking heads. She's like,
that's what I mean, right?
Yeah, she's not just thinking she's doing stuff and sitting around, Yeah. Oh, Kitty, you're on my notes, man. You gotta move.
But you see, the only bad thing or unfortunate thing for Keith is he is very close to Whitney. Aren't him and Whitney kind of like this? Strategizing together? Isn't that a bit too showmancy for some people, maybe?
Well, now I guess that doesn't happen yet. Yeah, that's never a good idea. Unless you're super on the down low about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we go to Palu, where Albert has taken it upon himself to do some searching.
Yeah, he feels like he's in jeopardy of getting voted out now that what's her face was screaming his name at the Redemption Challenge. So he's like, I gotta find this idol. He searches for what? An hour, maybe? Yeah. And then he's like, I'm pretty overwhelmed. I gotta go get help. And
then he asked Coach.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing, bud? No, I just sat here, shook my head, going, oh man.
Yeah, because Coach immediately goes like, I have to take it into my own hands.
Maybe, was that a thing where he waited out and he was just like, if somebody I know gets control over it, that's better than somebody I'm not tight with getting control over it. So.
I have a feeling he was hoping that, like, if he put the clue out there, that whoever would find it, it would still be his idol. If he came to them and was like, here's the clue, let's all look together. That he maybe thought he might still have control over it, but that's why Coach he deked off on his own to hunt.
Now, I will say this: he never actually showed them the clue. he tried to decipher it to them, hoping that they would maybe it would curry favor. But I think he was still thinking he didn't give up enough information to find it easily.
Well,
He
it did
left.
take a bit.
So I think he purposely just told them about it vaguely. Maybe the plan B was one of them's finding it. That's better than no one finding it at all. But plan A was definitely he didn't show them the clue and read it word for word.
Yeah.
And I think it's high up near the jungle.
Yeah.
And that's all he said.
I like the way Coach does his little prayer and then immediately finds it. I'm like,
I don't suppose it's in your will.
I know they probably edit it to be like that, right? But yeah, it's a little like, yeah.
And
And
then he
you
just-
know what? Honestly, it was like when he was praying, I'm like watching it, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna find the answer.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
I'm starting to see it now, right? Like when you know, like it's honestly like it was almost as soon as Brandon asked him, he's like, oh yeah, well you know, it's okay, well we're gonna go, and I'm like, oh dude, what? Yeah.
I have written down here. Coach finds it after praying. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
What did I have? Oh, so my note was like, well, I don't know. How far into the episode would you guys say we are now after he finds the idol?
Shoot, I didn't put timestamps on. I know
About halfway through.
Halfway, I want to say, yeah.
Talking Head from Ozzy is where we're going to be going to next.
So I think like it's his reaction after he wins the idol, like and how he's talking about himself in the third person is what I found super funny. Like he just like how he's I don't know, like does that like is he like that in the other seasons you guys have seen him? Like you guys like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach is living for Coach.
Well, he's okay. Plus, in his defense, which I think he would be super stoked to eat meat if you're like semi-starving, right? But how he's just like all like
we've been chatting for a bit. Put this up.
Oh,
or I took it down.
Nice. That's okay.
I think it got taken down when I put up the Tracy picture. Anyway, continue.
All right.
Just like he reminds me of like I think like he looks like he just wants to be in like a hair metal band. Do you know what I mean? Like his alter ego would be like Axl Rose-ish. You know, he's like
well, you think about when he started getting called Coach and what time of which decade that would be. That makes sense.
Who the icons were at the time.
Yeah.
Like, November Rain was popular back then. Is that what you're saying?
Definitely what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. There you
I
go.
don't know where you guys are getting this metal 80s rock thing out of Coach. I do not get that at all.
I'll show you. It's when he goes like this. Ah.
Yeah, he does this whole little talking head where he's all
there wasn't
like
that
metalled
much
out.
but he's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, and he's like, woo.
No.
He talks about himself in the third person for like 20 seconds.
No, but he's also the guy that would move out just like middle of nowhere and find some
first and last name. Coach Wayne is in a good spot.
Yoga. That's what Coach would do. He doesn't want to start a cover band. He wants to teach yoga every day.
Oh no, I'm not saying that's really who he is.
About him being a dragon slayer. He wants to
just his inspiration though that's where he was coming up with who he is now. So after he finds the idol, we go to Savai.
Yeah.
And it's Cochrane getting to go fishing with the boys for the first time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it starts with Ozzy telling us how hard fishing is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's underwater yoga.
I mean, he has to hold his breath for so long, and he gets all cut up, and fishing. It might look easy, but it's not easy.
No.
Not everyone can do what I do.
I don't know, man. You know what? I would probably be choosing what I said too, because you have to admit, being in his position, you're saying what you're saying to like, a couple million people, right? So it's kind of like, I don't know. Wouldn't want to be that lady that was like, oh, I didn't deal with people under 24 because they're idiots or something, right? What was that? Blue collar, white collar, no collar? And I'm just like, oh my God, are all her employees going to murder her now? Like, I was just like, whoa. So, I don't know. I would be very conscious of like, because you're on a very widely, so whatever you're saying that you're choosing to put that out into the world, right?
Yeah, but think about how much they don't put out. Like, don't you at some point get a little desensitized, being like, they're only gonna have me speak X number of words throughout the whole show? Some people they don't talk to, right? So
that may be the point.
Rick has had plenty of conversations with plenty of cameramen up until now about how he plays, and they've only shown you like 5 sentences of him.
Yeah.
So technically, he might have gotten away with a lot of stuff. I don't know. It all depends on how they make those decisions. But there's a lot of people, like a lot of words that don't ever get heard. So
Yes.
I bet you start to feel just a little safer speaking because they're not going to use everything I say.
Yeah.
If some of what I say comes true, they'll use it.
Yeah.
Mhm. But
I
yes.
really liked Cochran's talking head after that. How he's talking about Ozzy, and the one thing that stuck out for me was he called him a lazy jungle boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And middle-aged Ozzy.
Middle-aged Ozzy.
Yeah.
Ozzy laying in the hammock. Oh, I think I need a nap now. I wore myself out fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talks about the few brief moments of glory a day, and the rest of the time he's all trudging through and stuff. But I mean, I don't know, man. You gotta think like that. You gotta try and paint yourself in a certain light if you're gonna try and cast a shadow on someone else, right?
That's my thing, though. Is Ozzy's not. He's not doing a good job here. He's really calling it in. Cochran's right. Like Ozzy really has himself on a pedestal, and we see it this episode.
He caught 11 fish, guys. 11.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's one thing I was wondering about. Okay, what about the different colors of fish? Do they all taste good? Is it like chicken? Do they all taste the same? Are there like types of poison fish? Like here, like certain types of mushrooms, you like don't even want to touch it because you might die. Is there?
Probably.
Like, is it they just put them in a place? Go.
I think they're so hungry they don't care. That's what I think.
Sure. Oh, that's what I think too. I just wonder. Okay. Would you guys know, on a trivia note, has anyone ever gotten poisoned by something they ate on Survivor? And if so, how many contestants?
Something to look into.
I don't think there's ever been a.
Not that I'm aware of, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fair. Cover up.
Have quit that maybe just haven't wanted to discuss why, maybe. That's all I can think of.
So after all that is the challenge.
Yes.
The disgusting pork challenge.
Does anyone want to know what the challenge is called?
I don't.
Not really.
The disgusting pork challenge.
Yeah, Mom said it.
Pig out.
Pig out?
Pig out.
Yeah, it's kind of, like, not to be a jerk, but it almost seems like a little bit much to ask them to do it, especially like they're all starving and stuff, you know. So like, here, put this really good tasting food in your mouth and don't swallow any of it, or you're gonna be a big jerk. Yeah, man. It's not. It's.
Oh, somebody's gone. I don't. Dave, take that off the screen.
Oh.
Did Dave leave?
Dave's the one that left. Hey, hold on.
Some technical difficulties, that's all.
Here you go, guys. Okay. Yeah, we got this.
Okay, we got two of us.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Big piece of pork.
So
I'm just hidden beneath the meat.
What were your highlights for this challenge, you guys? Like, did you guys have anything?
I loved all of Jeff's comments. Brandon's gonna need to floss. So-and-so just got really personal with so-and-so, and he's like, oh, that was disgusting, Jim. Like, he had a lot to say.
And he said the challenge was disgusting, and at one point he said both tribes getting to know each other in a whole new way.
Whole new way.
Can we talk about Michaela's raw athleticism here? Rick drops the meat.
Oh, and she bends down and picks it up?
Dude, but not just bends down, picks it up with her hands tied behind her back, balances, manages to get it like a bird. Do you know what I mean? Without missing a beat, and it's like boom, boom, done. Like it was like, I don't know, man. Name me somebody else in the show that could do that. Like, it was pretty athletic. I was like I couldn't do that, man.
I was
No.
impressed. I couldn't do it either.
Yeah.
And I mention it because we've been sort of going ahead during notes, and it'll tie in like when we get to next episode. But I mean, here, wait a minute, who won this?
Well, actually, yeah.
Upolu wins.
Apollo
Yeah.
wins.
Does anyone remember the difference in weight?
Like 0.2 pounds or something?
It's like 2 ounces.
2 ounces.
2 ounces.
Yeah, ounces.
It was
Like-
20 pound 12 ounces to 20 pound 14 ounces.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
So because
Now-
I was a little off camera for a second there, did we talk about, because I when we discussed this before, I didn't make notes of who helped out each other during the challenge. I did this week if everyone's curious.
Ugh, I mean, say it.
Okay, so we got. Okay, well, my other mouse sucks. Okay, so we got Don helps out Keith, Coach helps out Edna, then Rick helps Brandon, and at the very end, Ozzy helps out Cochran.
Yeah.
Really, I'm still, I still have the picture in my head of Ozzy literally with his
The whole thing.
mouth picking up the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Let go, Ozzy. Yeah, and I feel like he should have got credit for that because it was like, "What's in your mouth?" He had it in his mouth. I don't know, man.
I
Like,
think all of them could have bit into it, picked up the whole thing with the bar, and walked over and sat it down.
I know.
That's what I wonder.
Well,
They all got to go spit out what was in their mouths.
Yeah, fair
That's
enough.
what Ozzy had in his mouth. It's
And
exactly right to the rules. That would be
yeah.
yeah, right away. It's like, put it down, Ozzy. I'm like, food.
in
And he
the
didn't.
basket.
He like
Yeah.
stood there for a minute with it like a dog getting caught
Yeah.
taking the food off your plate. He was just like, no. It's funny.
That's so good. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and then how they all had mouth-related injuries from the challenge.
And possibly herpes.
Yeah, that's the next part. Is we're back in Savai, and they all
Well, they
about how.
Well,
What?
so
They go to Upolu first, and Brandon shows off all his amazing cooking skills, which
Yes.
shocked me, and I think it shocked everybody on the tribe. But it was very quick. Everyone's just happy eating.
Yeah, they're all kind of like, just look at him go.
Yeah.
Especially Coach. Taste of victory.
Oh yeah, that's where the title
well,
comes from.
he's like just super stoked to be like in a good spot, like about everything. He's like, Coach is
Yeah.
like everything's coming up, Coach, right now. It seems
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coach has actually set a lot of the episode titles for this whole season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
The one that wins, I'd rather Jim win. Wow.
he's normally the one that quotes them all. But yeah, I'd be okay with eating that meat. Wash it off, cook it, whatever.
Title your sex tape. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
I don't see any problem with it, but that's just me.
If I was hungry, like pre-COVID, I would totally like just rinse it off with lots of water, and then, cook it over fire to sanitize it a little bit, ski or whatever. I don't know though, man. If you're hungry, like that's the thing that I think would be interesting. Like, what if, I don't know, like, what if we all like went on a fast when they like start the new season, and we'll like be hungry like that until we break.
Just eating rice and what we can catch in the sea.
Juice fast. No, like juice
Oh,
fast.
maybe.
Be truly hungry.
I do have the C.
Yeah. I could do it.
No,
I couldn't do it. I
But
say
sometimes I wonder when I go to comment on this stuff with you guys, I'm like, okay, how would I really handle this? Would I do as well? Like,
Yep.
what I
be
say
interesting.
is that I could handle all this like a fucking champ. I'd be a pro survivor. Internally, I know I would be crying day one, in tears, falling apart, paranoid, frightened.
having a meltdown like Dawn earlier in the season? You're like,
Full
oh
on.
my God, I know I shouldn't be doing this right now, but you're like, can't stop.
Yeah. Within like an hour. I think it would hit the first time I have to go poop in a hole somewhere on that island.
That'd be it. That'd be your welcome to the island survivor.
That's the reality check. Like, oh, here I go, pooping in a hole. Is there a camera near? I hope not.
They don't give you toilet paper.
I don't think they do that.
Okay, I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Even in a pandemic,
yeah.
I've got food safe.
Right.
Okay. So I would have cooked that meat and I would have had no problem eating it, period. End of story.
All right.
Thank you for your attempt to be disturbing.
You're welcome. Anytime.
No,
Yeah,
I would eat it too. Like I would rinse it and eat it, man.
Rinse it, cook it.
But like post-COVID now, it has an extra kind of.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a pit in my stomach thinking about it. I don't know if mentally I could get over that block.
Right?
You know?
There's like a little even if you rinse it off, like how long does the COVID last on it, right? Can you sanitize the ham before we
yeah.
We're 12 days in and these guys don't really have a good fisherman on their team.
Right.
Yeah.
So
true.
They're eating meat and I get it.
Yeah.
Unless Albert actually went fishing after he found the idol, because he took the fishing gear with him when he went to go look as his cover, but
right.
Oh, right, yeah.
But didn't bring any fish back, and no one really noticed.
I guess so.
So then we go to Savai and or Savai, and Cochrane's. They're all sitting around the fire, kind of, licking their wounds. And Cochrane mentions that they probably all share some kind of mouth disease now. And they're all like, what?
It's funny because I listened to it and I totally was awkward like that when I was a teenager and stuck my foot in my mouth. He's just like, oh yeah, it's a common thing. Like everybody kind of, the chances of, but the way he says it and everyone's just like, what? And it totally just makes him a target, right? And everyone's like, oh, someone's like, okay, Harvard, like, chill.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Don's pretty vocal about okay, we love you, Cochrane, but seriously.
He's like, I'm talking cold sores.
Yeah.
And somebody said, oh, so you just gave us all cold sores? No, I think I got cold sores from you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Cochrane, you're digging yourself deeper.
Yeah. That's not helping.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. I can think of a couple Survivor players that could pull off talking like that. Like Tyson. Oh, yeah. Tyson could say that and everyone would have laughed and he would have played it off as a joke.
Yeah.
Bet you he could have.
I could test that theory. I'm not convinced.
I think, I agree with Dave. I think there's players that could do it. But now I'm thinking I'd like to hear so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so say it just to kind of hear it.
Yeah. So this is when they all start talking about who they're going to vote off. And I forget who starts it. Jim starts wanting to vote off. Whitney?
No, Jim wants to vote off Elise.
Right.
Because now, remember, he was this. Okay, this is what I'm saying. It goes back to earlier in the episode when Ozzy is like, oh, if I was coach, I'd get rid of so-and-so. And that's when Jim's radar went off. And now he's like, oh, we got to do something about that. And he's thinking, okay, I don't want to take out Ozzy because that weakens our tribe. But you know what? Elise can hit the road. Right. I need to get 4 people. We have 7 people on the tribe. I need 4.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Cochrane mentions this first in the flow of the episode. Am I wrong? I feel like
I don't remember him saying
a talking head, and he's like he brings it up, and then I could be wrong, but I believe that's how it happens.
It could happen that way, but I know Jim. It was in Jim's head, so if that's the way it happened, Jim was all over it once Cochrane went to him.
No, Jim goes to Cochrane. Cochrane mentions Elise and Ozzy's bond when he's complaining about Ozzy being middle-aged Ozzy. He addresses that. But he doesn't devise a plan and approach anyone. It's Jim that comes to him, and he's immediately like, oh, I could be safe? Yes, master. So
Before it was Tracy though, like last week it was Tracy that got sent home. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember who it was before that, but that was a Sabai person, and they were trying to get out Elise instead. There was a conversation about it, I think, in episode 3 about getting out Elise, or maybe they touched on it last week. I'll have to double check my notes here. But they have talked about getting out Elise before, with those two laying in the hammock together and being super tight before this episode. I mean,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
but-
and then Keith and Whitney are left to decide.
oh yeah. That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
they
That's
are.
what Whitney back out on, right?
Yeah.
See, and then it kind of, Keith is like, well, I don't really want to upset Ozzy, by voting for it,
Right.
to my way of thinking, by voting for anyone but Cochrane, he's going to upset Ozzy.
Yeah.
So he thought by just doing a random vote on somebody else, it was going to save his butt. No, that won't work.
No, I don't think he ever thought that.
That's where when Drew was saying that like Keith maybe has a shot at like going far in the game, I disagree just because of this episode when Keith and Whitney have that talk about like, how do we get around this? And they think they're so clever by let's just vote someone completely different. And then Ozzy won't be mad that Elise is gone. We didn't vote her out. It's like, yeah, but you're not voting with him either. Like, it's not a win.
You didn't support him.
Yeah.
But they're sort of trying to do both, right? They're trying to make their political moves, but keep him on side to do challenges for now, and then get rid of him in a little while.
It's a massive miss.
Yeah, massive miss.
Yeah. Because so then they go to tribal. And I don't really, what happens?
Cochrane gets bombarded. Jeff really singles him out.
Right. He does every time almost.
Well, Cochrane did request the name, drew attention to himself in the beginning, right?
True.
Maybe Jeff was like, oh yeah, okay, man. Yeah, I see you. I got you. But like, I'm going to make it a challenge, though.
That is true.
I didn't realize until they really said it at Tribal. I know they talked about it when they were at camp sitting around the fire, as you put it, just licking their wounds. But when Jeff's like, who here is injured? And everyone raises their hand, I was like, that was really, like cuts. That'd be horrible.
How many people here have had braces? Okay, just me. Cochrane wasn't kidding, okay? Here's the thing. Your teeth are in your mouth. You get braces, they put these big anchors, and you get this wire, and then every once in a while, they like wrap a little elastic band to like suck the wire to that little bracket. So you get that thing take off, and then the person, like, they manipulate it to put all this tension, and then they strap it back on. And literally for the next about 4 days, you can't eat solid food. You can't bite down anything. You got to eat soup, drink smoothies. It makes your whole headache, like you got a giant headache. And he's like, so like when he's like, yeah, I could like literally feel my teeth shifting and stuff, and like all that stuff. Like it, I mean, it's having braces and all like fancy. It can't be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And I
they're legitimate injuries.
When I didn't wear my retainer, so there's that. Because he mentioned that. He's like, oh, I've been forgetting to wear my retainer.
I was just, I kept wanting to like show to the TV, like, Jeff, just lay off him.
Yeah. I know. It seems like cruel.
I think they might have edited it that way just to make the viewer not realize what ends up happening.
True, yeah. And to sympathize for Cochrane a little more too. Make him a little more endearing. He's taken all this punishment, Yeah. And he's typically got a good attitude about it. He's rarely like he gets a little whiny sometimes, but now he's more or less just taking the feedback and being like, yeah, I do need to do better.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And he is working hard at camp.
Yeah.
It's kind of like comedy improv rules, right? You don't shut ideas down. You're just like, oh yeah, no, that's a good idea. Take stuff in and be like, it's a smart way to respond to people, right? Just like, oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. You just try and, as opposed to be like, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, does
I
anyone
thought
want to know who voted for who, or do we all know?
Oh, I know who voted for who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what I liked was when Jeff was reading the votes, they showed Ozzy when like a vote for Dawn came out, and he was like, "What?
He's
What?
all
Why?
confused.
What?"
Then did you see Whitney's face when that vote comes out? And she looks so proud of herself. She's
Oh, I
like,
know.
look, Keith, we did it. No one knows. I was like, no,
Oh,
everyone knows.
everyone knows. You're not
And that's-
hiding anything.
Yeah, and now they've upset Ozzy and Dawn by throwing votes her way. Like, it was just such a silly move.
They didn't gain one friend on that.
No.
Not one. They upset people. I'm sure, are going to pay for
Wasted
this.
votes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to look at it either way. It's a vote not with Ozzy. Like that's how
Yeah.
Ozzy see it. It's not like everyone's supposed to do their own thing. Fair enough. He's like, I thought I had 5 votes against this one person.
Yeah.
Foregone conclusion.
It's
And then his-
not
Yeah.
strategy.
So yeah, that just in case anyone's curious, that was Whitney and Keith wasted their votes on Don, and yeah, Ozzy and Elise for Cochran, and Jim, Don, and Cochran votes for Elise. It was
Yeah.
what a dumb move.
That should be an interesting redemption next week.
Mm.
Oh,
With Elise and
Christine.
Yeah,
now
it is.
can we talk about the first vote out of the I don't know what they call that. It's not really like an urn, the box or whatever they put the votes in.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how Ozzy wrote down Cochran's name?
Cochrane.
Train.
Yeah.
Because they were calling in the little Cochrane that could.
Yeah. This
Back
is the
at
second
camp.
last stop for the Cochrane. Sorry, man. Hope you get that second chance.
Just so offensive.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it's pretty arrogant, right? Like,
Yeah.
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 So do
I
you
get
think
that read.
is Ozzy
Ozzy-
going to make any enemies with that one next episode?
Probably.
Anybody going to be like unnecessary Ozzy? Unnecessary.
He's just he's been like that with Cochrane around camp the whole time, though. Like,
Yeah.
really condescending. Like, that whole conversation, how do you spell your name? Is like,
But I mean, it's kind of a classic play. Like that's like Tyson with Vetus. Do you know what I mean? Like, or Vetus's brother, right? Just that,
Ours.
and
I think-
especially guys with other guys in Survivor, it's very much that passive aggressive undermining. Sometimes like, oh
I can
yeah,
see
you
it
wrote that, eh?
when it's two alphas, it's one thing. But for Ozzy to be doing it to Cochrane is. And that's
Yeah.
maybe the way they played it this season to make you feel for Cochrane more, but it just feels like an attack and unnecessary when Ozzy does it to Cochrane. I feel so sad.
Yeah, well, I think we see Ozzy a certain way because of the way the show portrays him. But you think about it, like, so Cochrane went to Harvard. Like, what kind of a degree does he have from Harvard?
Law?
Law.
That's a good question.
It is law.
Law.
That's what you go to Harvard for.
Oh, okay.
So
Guaranteed law.
So law is generally like a master's technically, not like a PhD, but but it's like 7 years ish.
But he decided when he graduated that not to go in and be a lawyer.
Okay.
He is an author, I think now.
Okay.
I want to say.
But even to accomplish that much school to maintain your grades, because Harvard isn't just any school. Do you know?
No.
Like, so
Yeah,
I
law school, that's what we got.
would think he would have to kind of maintain a level of advancement, right? Like, so, they may not show it, but I mean, Ozzy may legit be in, like, I don't know what kind of schooling Ozzy's got. He's a physically capable guy. He's an emotionally capable guy, but he might feel intimidated by someone with a law degree that had been to Harvard.
Oh.
I would,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even that makes me dislike Ozzy a little because he's in his element and he knows that. So Cochrane's already lower, like obviously. So for
Sure.
him to then go after him to beat him when he's down is like, it feels cruel.
Sure, but like, I don't know, if it's a hockey game and you're winning 3-1 in the second period, do you take your foot off the gas?
No.
Do you know?
It's a little different for Survivor, though.
I think there's a class level, right? I think there's, but I know. It's not always pretty. It's not Brandon. Do you know? Oh, and then doesn't he get into tears again at the at the tribal in this one, right?
Who?
You know
Brandon's
what?
not in tribal.
We'll get to that.
Brandon gets into tears so many times. Like I said, I didn't even write his name down.
Yeah. He's the worst.
It's too much. I'm such a good person, and everybody's picking on me.
So here's a fun fact, a couple fun trivia facts from the episode.
Yeah.
Christine sets the record for most wins in the duel on Redemption Islands in a row. As far as
Okay.
she's behind Matt, who was the what was it? The one with Rob, the one where he was there for like 6 duels.
She won more than Matt?
No, she's behind him, but she's won more than any other woman. No other woman stayed on Redemption Island and won 3 duels.
All right.
Everyone else, I think, is 2 at best.
What's the most number of duels have been won on Redemption?
I can look at Matt and Mike's. They
longest streak.
Like in the 5, maybe 4 or 5 category. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, they got in there and they stuck it out to the merge.
10 consecutive wins Matt had.
Yeah.
Matt was the first one voted out and made it all the way back in at the very end of the game. Or second person voted out, made it all the way back in.
Because I keep thinking it's going to happen with Christine. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I just I don't know. There's something just about how
she rages.
There's something there, man. And
it's a fury.
It is.
That only a middle-aged woman can have. And she's just using it to fuel those duels.
Yep.
Here's one more. Oh, no. Oh, wait.
I was just going to say, if she gets back, she'll be a force.
You would think.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Because you think about it, she keeps getting updated by whichever the newest. So she's like aware of the whole game. She knows, everybody's thoughts and different sides of it. So puts you in an interesting position. You just have to sell people on you when you get back into the game.
I was going to say this is the second time this season where someone gets voted out with receiving less than 50% of the votes.
Oh.
Interesting.
It only took 3 out of 7 to take someone out. That happened in the He Has Demons episode.
Brandon.
That was episode 2.
He Has Demons, yes. Among other things.
So, I mean, that's pretty much it, unless anyone else has anything to throw out there.
No. I'm looking forward to the next episode, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see who takes this news poorly, well, badly.
It's a really good episode. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things that I think happen, and I think there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. It'll be a good one.
I have a feeling that's definitely. Well, I wish I could guess when the merge is happening. I bet you it's not next episode. I bet you it's the episode after that, if I really had to guess. But it's been so long since I've seen this season that I'm just can't remember.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We will see. Okay. Goodbye, Internet. If you need to reach us any questions, _survivor, talkingsurvivor@gmail.com. Let us know what you think, and we'll try to read them on air next time we're back. Bye, Internet.
Bye-bye. Don't.